here's how powerful we are, that if in just 1 minute, if all of us will breathe deeply, and so, for example, in the Bible, the word spirit actually means breath. And if we'll just in 1 minute breathe deeply, 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. In fact, let's all do that. And if you're driving, don't close your eyes. But if you aren't driving, it's easier to go within, because see, the kingdom is within. In fact, one of my books that I wrote is called Your Royal Path to Riches, and how to tap into the kingdom within. That talks about the conscious and subconscious mind and how the dynamics of that.
You're listening to the Rich State of Mind Show, the podcast made to make you the total package in the entrepreneurial world and give you what we call a rich state of mind. If you are here looking to learn about real estate investing, marketing, elevating your business, and developing your mindset to get to the next level, then you are at the right place. Stay tuned and be sure to join our community on richstateofmind.com. Now here's your host, Anthony Ritchie.
Hey, Dr. Hank, thank you for taking the time this morning for me. Where are you at right now?
Right now, I'm in Dallas, Texas.
All right,
so looking
over.
Yeah, I'm looking over. Can you see that beautiful view there? I'm looking over a forest. It's a blue sky, and so we're going to have just an amazing time today, Anthony.
All right, so if you could just tell us, man, a little bit about you and what you do, and how did you become to the status of doctor?
Sure. You
story
bet.
there.
Well, you bet, and thanks again for being on your show. And I love your name on this whole idea about the rich state of mind, and with all of us, that we each have the power to have a rich state of mind, and to live the life that we want to, and to have our dreams come true. And the reason why I know that is my PhD is in mental science, so I'm a mental scientist. And I have helped Fortune 100 companies around the world. I've helped entrepreneurs, real estate professionals, really pretty much all of us. It's the same way for all of us to be able to attract what we want, and that is basically through our thoughts. We have very powerful thoughts, and those thoughts literally create our experience. So we are the creators of our own experience.
And so when you say that, it makes me think that you are under the mindset that we are in complete control of our destiny. And so how do you approach people that say, well, hey, what about my circumstances or my atmosphere, my environment, right? How can I master and overcome my environment? Let's say it is negative, and use that thoughts to become things process.
Yeah. And it's a great question, because a lot of people, I'd like to sometimes look at it as if we'll use colors. And so let's use like a paint color, a bright yellow. And so this is where we're thinking about the things that we want, not necessarily what's in front of us, what we're experiencing, but we're thinking about what will be, and we're thinking about our bright future, and we're thinking about being healthier and happier and wealthier. And so let's call that yellow. But then what we do, Anthony, is we then look at and we start looking at what's going on in our life. A deal went south. We got into an argument that, our right foot doesn't feel good, whatever the case may be. And so we start, and let's use that color, red. And so we were thinking about yellow, the things we wanted, but then we started thinking about the things we don't want. And typically the things we don't want is what we're experiencing a lot of the time. And so if you mix, the reason why we don't think we're the creators of our experience is because when you mix this yellow, if you will, asking for what you want, and then we mix this red, when you combine red and yellow, those two paints, you get oranges. So people say, hey, I didn't ask for oranges. But in fact, you did because you were asking about what you want and what you don't want. Specific to your question then is that people say, but I didn't ask to be poor, let's just say, or I didn't ask for, this dead end job
Yeah.
or whatever thing it is. I didn't ask for sickness, whatever. But let's use just the example of poor. I didn't ask to be poor. Well, really, we have been. And so, and let me give you some examples. If I'm in a North Park Mall, it's a very large mall, and if I walk into that mall, and if I see expensive purses, if I see expensive suits, that most of us, what we do is we say, I can't afford that, okay, or I don't have the money for that. Well, that in essence is you're asking, that's your prayer. And so the universe, God, your higher power, whatever you want to call it, your soul, that when you say, oh, I don't have enough money, then you are brought more, not enough money.
Okay.
And so it's really this idea about, and again, this why I love your rich state of mind. A rich state of mind is not to look at what is going on and thinking about that, because whatever, especially when it's unwanted, because whatever I focus my attention on grows. So why on earth would I focus my attention on a fight or a deal going south or not having enough money? Because that's just going to give me more of that. So instead, what I do is I help people to think about what they do want, to think about their bright future, to not buy into what we're called reality. Oh, and sometimes people say to me, oh, Dr. Hank, why don't you face reality? And I say, I'm never going to face reality. I'm going to create it. And we create it with our thoughts.
So you have a great point where you go into that mall and you have that thought process of I can't afford versus how can I afford?
Yeah.
And then changing that reality. So yes, will it take maybe some time? It's not going to be you wake up tomorrow.
Well, here's the beauty. Yeah, here's the beauty. A lot of people think, oh, I got to work hard and see, and that's a belief that we have buried in our subconscious mind, and we have to work hard and things are going to be tough and it's going to be a long time. And sometimes people say, oh, it's too good to be true.
Yes.
If you say that, then it will be. But here's how powerful we are, that if in just 1 minute, if all of us will breathe deeply. And so, for example, in the Bible, the word spirit actually means breath. And if we'll just in 1 minute breathe deeply, 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. In fact, let's all do that. And if you're driving, don't close your eyes. But if you aren't driving, it's easier to go within, because see, the kingdom is within. In fact, one of my books that I wrote is called Your Royal Path to Riches and How to Tap into the Kingdom Within. That talks about the conscious and subconscious mind and how the dynamics of that, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But let's just get to a state where we actually can raise our vibration, which means raise our point of attraction, which means we can start attracting thoughts and people and circumstances of more of what we want. So if we will all I want all of you to just relax. Again, if you're not driving, close your eyes and let's do that breath. It would be 6 times that we're going to breathe in deeply, in and out, because that'll be 1 minute. And literally, you'll be feeling better. And when you feel better, you're actually at a better place to attract the things you want. So close your eyes and let's breathe in deeply. And then as you blow out, just say to yourself, relax. And just start relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. And then breathe in. And as you breathe out, just ask to quiet your mind. Become still, become quiet. Breathe in. breathe out and ask your body to relax, your mind to relax, and be at ease. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe out anything unwanted. And now as you breathe in everything wanted. Imagine it's the breath of God. You're breathing in, cleansing you, keeping you whole and providing you clarity, feeling good. And one last now breath in and breathe out. And you are now connected to your higher power. And you are in a better place. And so for all of us, you can open up your eyes now, and don't you feel better? How do you feel, Anthony?
I definitely is relaxed. It's funny because I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking about, people that are listening to this. I want them to really take in what you're saying. And then I wonder, who feels a little bit more relaxed after just listening to those last 30 seconds of the podcast. To kind of get into what you're mentioning as far as tapping into the kingdom within.
Yes. And so now that we're in this better state, see, and we really are in a better state, we kind of have forgotten whatever, thing we were rushing to or problem we had, and it's just like, wow, this is really good. And so we're right now, and each one of us are now more open to listen to these ideas and to understand the power that we have and who we are. And so let's talk about the relationship between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And in Matthew 17, the Bible, one of the most referenced books ever, that it says that when two of you are together and come into agreement, it shall be manifested on earth. Well, usually, before I went to seminary school to, understand and learn this, along with the mindset mental science school, that I was thinking, because I didn't understand this God thing, and I didn't understand. I thought it was two people, and I thought they were talking about, hey, when you and I then agree that we'll manifest it on earth. But actually, what it is, it's agreement that we would have between our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. And so, basically, to talk about and understand our subconscious mind is we have these two minds. Our conscious mind is really the one that's running the show. You are directing your subconscious mind, the kingdom within, God within you, and you're directing it based on whatever you're saying consciously. Mm-hmm. And your subconscious mind has memorized every thought you've had, every experience you've had, every feeling you've had. See, it's really about your feelings, because this is about the signal, if you will, that is sent to your higher power, is how you actually feel. And so, and this is since conception, your subconscious mind has memorized these different thoughts of yours, experiences of yours, and it has an opinion about every subject under the sun. And that opinion is called a belief. And that's why it is done unto us as we believe. So let me give you a specific example.
Okay.
And again, we'll use money, because money actually is this loving, divine energy that is able to provide us more choices, more variety. It's wonderful things. But most of us have beliefs that are opposite that. And so it has a lot to do with our upbringing. So, for example, how many of you have been told the root of all evil, is the love of money, Okay, well, that's really not what the Bible was saying there. What the Bible was saying actually is all things come from God. And so you don't love anything more so than God, universe, higher power, whatever, you feel comfortable with sharing. Because believe me, there is this non-physical, and you can connect with this amazing, loving being, if you will, that is the kingdom within you. So now, again, we're looking at money. So you said, oh, the root of all evil is money. Well, heck, I don't want to be any part of the root of all evil. And just to explain on why for sure, that isn't that specific quote didn't mean what most people understand it is back in Christ's time, money and wealth, one of the ways to measure that was how many sheep you have. Well, certainly, if I got a sheep under my arm, then this isn't the root of all evil. The sheep, okay. And so, but think of the other things we've been taught. The filthy rich. Well, heck, whenever we first heard that, we said, "Man, I don't want to be filthy." I'm not going to be rich. Or things like money doesn't grow on trees. Well, I lived in Florida. There's billions of dollars of orange and grapefruit trees that, are down there. So we have been brought up with these ideas about money, which again, all it is a loving divine energy. Look at it as angelic, like an angel, loving energy from God that's coming to us, and that it's available to us as much as air is available to us is money. But see, we've been told, hey, you got to work hard for it. And then we've looked at people, we've looked at our parents or other people, and wow, they had to work hard all their lives in order to kind of make it or whatever. So it must be true. I have to work hard to do it. But that is the tough road, the hard road. And I have a simpler way for all of us to achieve all our dreams, whether it's money or happiness or relationships or help or whatever we want. And so what we've been doing is we've been taught that all of our dreams and the things we want are up here. And so we've been swimming upstream, and none of our desires are upstream. They're all downstream. And if all of us will just let go, like here's another quote that I never understood is the meek shall inherit the earth. And I would think to myself, like the meek are little wimps, twerps, whatever. Okay. Yeah. And that, why would they get it and not me, being strong or whatever. And what the meek is the meek are the ones that are being quiet so that they can then receive the thoughts and the ideas to everything that they want, so that they can then attract all the people and circumstances and events. So we became meek in that 1 minute. We became meek and inherited the earth by us breathing deeply and just quieting ourselves. So it's the opposite of what most of the world teaches. Most of the world teaches you got to work hard and you got to do. And what most people end up with, and I help a lot of people through a midlife crises that they're going through, because if I keep on doing, I end up getting do in my life.
I like that.
And we don't want that. And so it's not about doing, it's really about thinking, about being quiet, about feeling good. And then if you trust and have faith in that you in essence will receive all of the dreams that you have will be manifested and come true in your life.
So thank you for breaking that down so well, by the way. And so with that, during that journey, and I experienced it this morning, how can you help people improve their memory throughout this happiness journey, this success journey? Because I think we try to be hoarders of information in our brain and not write stuff down.
Yeah.
The brain, I've learned, is meant to process, but obviously having short-term memory would definitely be pretty essential to a lot of things. So how do you help people
Sure,
out?
You bet. So the first thing, and I would suggest, because we are on memory and how to actually implement these things that I'm sharing with you, is to write it down. So I would write these things down. And so the number one thing to always do when you have a question about anything, when you want anything, I want to have this deal go good, I want to be healthier, whatever, is to, and I want you to all write down, is to ask. We have to ask. And so I want to have better health. We can't say, gee, I hope I don't get COVID, because COVID puts you into the vibration of disease, and you'll actually attract disease from when you're talking about what you don't want. See, but most people think, oh no, I'm saying I don't want COVID. No. When you say COVID, you have to be there. So you want to start thinking about more about what you want. Now, so let's use your question on will memory. That I want to ask, and remember, we're the commanders of our soul. We're the captain of our ship, if you will, and with our conscious mind. And so thus, I'm going to stop. So what's the first thing to do is let's stop talking about, oh, I have a bad memory, okay? Or, oh, I'm not good with names. And you'll say, and people will argue with me, and they go, no, really, Dr. Hank, I'm not good with names. I can give you a million examples for that. And what you're doing is you're fighting for your lack and limitation. So what we want to do is stop talking about the things we don't want. We don't want to not be good with names. We don't want to not have, or say things. See, what happens is, like if I say, oh, I have a bad memory. Why is that? Well, I have a bad memory because there's so much information out there. What happens is we'll just attract more and more thoughts that will support whatever we're saying, okay? Whatever we're asking for, whatever our prayer is, and so we'll be given more and more idea. Well, you don't want to go down there. That's going upstream again. So we want to go downstream. So things like that, I want to improve my memory. I am good with names. I love the idea. And so here's a real good one, because remember, you have to have agreement between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Mm-hmm. So if you said to yourself, again, using the memory example and with names, that if you've said to yourself, and you'd be amazed at how many times that you have said things like, oh, I'm not good with names, etc. We have 60,000 thoughts a day, each one of us. And about 80% of those thoughts for most people are unwanted or negative thoughts.
Yeah.
And then the real kicker is here, and that 95% of all those thoughts every day are the same thoughts. Well, if I'm thinking the same thoughts, that I get the same tomorrows, right?
Yes.
And that's why your Rich State of Mind podcast is so popular, and why it's loved by so many people is because you're helping people with new ideas, new thoughts that will then, such as we're creating right now and sharing with everybody right now, that those new thoughts will create a better future for us and a better tomorrow for us.
And so earlier you talked about COVID, about people, I don't want to get COVID, and not maybe taking the proper steps to ensure that their health is the best that they can be. You talk about in your talking points, how to create better health. How can you do that?
Yeah. So again, now better health. What's the number one thing we do? We ask. So I'm going to start asking for, hey, I want better health. Okay. And so by asking, and here's why the subconscious mind will play for you on this, that if you say, for example, and so we'll use the health one. How many times have people said, oh, I don't feel good, or oh, I feel tired, or whatever, unhealthy things, okay? And again, they think they're being real because they're looking at what is. Well, you're just going to get more of that and not feeling good and not good health. And so if I would say an affirmation, for example, if I would start talking to myself, because we all talk to ourselves, 60,000 words a day, we talk to ourselves, that when we're talking to ourselves, if I say, I am healthy, the subconscious mind goes, hold on. You've been telling me for years, that you're unhealthy, that your leg hurts, that, whatever. Okay. And so thus there isn't agreement. So when you say, I am healthy, you could say it 1 billion times. The subconscious mind, because its belief is that you're unhealthy because you've said that so much. And what happens is when you have your conscious mind try to meet up with your conscious mind, it goes boom. And basically the subconscious mind says, bullshit. I am wealthy, bullshit. We're not going to get there. So what do we say? Hey, we start saying things like, I want to be healthier. Subconscious mind doesn't have any problem with that. And I would literally write that down for all of you, that I have magical senses that I literally channel with divine intelligence to be able to give people, to be able to give these thoughts and these ideas. And this very thing, I want to be healthier now. And simply by asking that and just continually and focusing on health and ask for, I want more healthy ideas. Okay, I want healthier thoughts, because 99% of everything we create is with our mind. Our thoughts go into energy, which is called our emotions. And in fact, this will be helpful because sometimes people say, oh, Dr. Hank, you're in La La Land. And I say, hey, you'd like to live in La La Land. It's a good place to be. But what I've been teaching for over 20 years, science, all the disciplines of science, quantum physicists, molecular biologists, they've all agreed within the last 5 years on this is how to create anything in your life. So your dreams come true on your experience. This is how. And it's just according to the scientists, and it's been proven scientifically, okay? It's 3 things. The first thing is your all-powerful thought. So thought, and then according to the scientists, your thought then creates energy. Because see, the entire universe is energy. And so like if we talk about, well, where does God come in? God is this loving energy that we can call upon. It has made all things, et cetera, in the universe, or whatever word, that you're comfortable using. And so you literally, that this emotion that you have, this, what the scientists call energy, is our emotion. And that's why our feelings are so powerful, and our emotions are so powerful, and they are created by our thoughts. And so these thoughts, step 1, go to create energy. Okay. And then again, according to the scientists, that energy creates step 3, matter, M-A-T-T-E-R. And this is why, and think that thoughts become things, because it is my thoughts that create energy, that creates matter. Now, what the scientists always forget about is that there is this higher invisible power, if you will. And so there's actually 5 steps to all creation. But the good news is we only need to do 2 steps. And so, and if you'll follow me here, so remember, science said it's 3 steps. Well, actually it's 5, but we only have to do 2 things. So the most important, where it all starts, the first step is our thoughts. Our thoughts, just like the scientists say, creates energy. But the third step is this energy is sent out. It's like a signal that you have, your emotions is like a signal that communicates with your higher power. And so let's call these your thoughts prayers. And this is why all your prayers in step 3 are received and instantly answered. So literally everything that we've asked for is in this energy form. But most people say to me, Dr. Hank, I want the money in the bank. You know,
Yes,
I want
sir.
the car in the garage. I want the person in the bed next to me, whatever it is. And so to help you with that is actually step 4. And what I call step 4 is ABE, ABE, which means to allow yourself, give yourself permission. It's okay to have what you asked for. And that's very powerful. That's very, very powerful to realize it's okay. You're worthy. If Oprah said, if you're in this body, you are already worthy because you created, you birthed yourself literally into this experience. And so to understand how worthy we are and to understand how lovingly powerful we are with our thoughts. So this 4th step, allow it, believe it, and expect it. Start expecting big, happy surprises in your life. Like, you can't get what you don't ask for. So how many of us today ask for big, happy surprises today?
No, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah, I definitely didn't wake up like thinking like that. Well, what surprise to look for? I'm thinking I make my surprises, which
Yeah, cool.
that's kind of
Love it.
my thought process on how I attack the day.
Yeah, beautiful. And see, and I would ease up on attack
Okay.
because see, then it's back to it's a battle, and there is
Okay.
no battle unless we make it.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna just have fun today. I'm gonna play more today. I'm gonna have big happy surprises today. And yeah, I create my surprises. And so I want big happy surprises. I don't want bad surprises.
Yes.
So we need to be clear. And remember, it's that emotion. So if I'm saying big happy surprises, I'm sending out, this is how I want to feel, and give me more things to feel this good with, and you will be given more good things. And as proof of that how many of us on the other side of the coin know, how many of us have had a really bad day, and then we go, this day just can't get any worse. And then it does. Okay. Well, that's the power of your thoughts will continue to create and have this momentum. So you want to just stop, and we all have the power to do this. I'm going to stop these silly thoughts about being afraid of anything. Okay. Being worried about anything. Like, parents think that they're being good to their children when they worry about their children. You're sending worry to them. And then you end up, how many of us have said, I'm not going to be like my mom or dad. And one day we wake up more like our mom and dad.
No, you're
Well,
right.
that's because they're putting this vibration. So, if your mom's fearful, you're probably fearful, because without her realizing it, she was sending, oh, I'm worried. Well, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to be guarded about. There's no war going on. There's no battle unless we make it up. So why don't we just make up, hey, I'm going to have a good, easy life, easy money, easy life.
I love that. And so I want to ask you this question, because I like to ask all my guests this question. I think I'm gonna get a pretty enriched response. What do you consider your rich state of mind? Your big why as to why you like to coach this mindset?
Yeah. Well, it's my soul's desire to help other people become their greatest possibility. And so I do this, I'm giving back. I'm not selling anything. I'm not, that all I'm doing is giving this rich state of mind. This is it, folks. That when you realize that in one easy moment that you have the power to feel good, and when you feel good, that will actually attract you the things that you do want. So in the Bible, again, it says, ask and you shall receive, but it also says the Father does the work. So which means we just need to ask what we want and why we want it. That's all we have to think about. But we've been told, figure out how. But hold on, the Father does the work. And when you start thinking about how you attracted your spouse or how you attracted whatever in your life, that you could have never figured that out. There is a power that is an unseen power that is working, conspiring on all of our behalves to give us everything that we're asking for, that we're thinking about, that we're praying about. And our prayer isn't when we're on our knees and our hands full. Our prayer are those 60,000 thoughts every day. And so what is your prayer? And when your prayer is about the things that you desire, the things that you love, the things that you want, things that you dream about, that then is having a rich state of mind.
I love that, man. Thank you for tying in our name too.
Yeah.
It's always nice to know that we, and I say we, it's really my wife, picked the right name for this podcast.
Wow.
To totally encompass what we were really going for. So thank you for adding on to that. This concept that you have, this thought process, I think is definitely revolutionary in being able to change people's lives. Where can people find you?
Yeah, sure. One of the a really neat place, remember I shared with you that I channel with this divine loving intelligence, and so I have a Facebook group called Angel Connections.
Okay.
And if you just go to Angel Connections and ask to join that group, that's where, when my angels, this loving divine energy, starts talking to me, I share it. And so it's been so comforting for people, especially during these times, if you will, that, with all the news and the stuff going on, that, it's easy to get lost. And this is where you can get found, that where you can be comforted, where you can be guided and supported, that we're all here. I'm kind of like your guardian angel, if you will, that we're all here to love you, to support you, to guide you. And so that's a great place to get a hold of me. But, if you want a little bit special, personal, one-on-one, I mean, I've helped people build billion-dollar companies. Just was with a billionaire, in fact, 10 days ago. I've helped people overcome cancer, attract their partner, their ideal partner. So, really doesn't matter what you desire, that if you want specific help, if I can help you, that call me, text me. My number is 214-753-7204. Again, 214-753-7204. Call me. Let's talk. Let me know how I can help. Also email me, and it's real easy. drhank@drhank.biz, B-I-Z. And so Dr. Hank at drhank.biz. And so that's the way, if I can help you in any way, become your greatest possibility to help you overcome health or achieve the things that you want, that I'd love to be able to talk to you and see how we can help each other to help you become your greatest possibility.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Hank, for your time. This is gonna be cool. I can't wait to post this one. I like people. I like having different perspectives per episode. So there's a few times where I've talked about, let's say real estate.
Yeah.
But I appreciate when somebody has a different take on it. Yeah. That is maybe relatable to somebody else that couldn't relate to the other episode that they listened to.
Right. Yeah.
I like your approach on life, and I feel like it can appeal. The first person I thought about was my father, actually. And so I feel like something like this would be definitely helpful towards somebody like my father.
Yeah, to be able to share this.
Or he would appreciate this episode, if not anything.
Yeah. It's just good news, everybody. And take that good news, just know it's all okay, and just one step at a time. And you'll be amazed at the beautiful life. I've helped thousands of people across the world to have their dreams come true, and know that you have the power and the loving energy and ability to think literally into everything that you want.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you for sticking with us from the start of the episode. Please share our show with friends and family, visit our YouTube channel, and view more of our content on richstateofmind.com. See you next week on the Rich State of Mind Show.